Good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us on 13 Plus on this first alert action night. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen joins us now for a look at what's happening. And Aaron, should we take the live cam of Bigelow?
I think so,
Let's do it.
Let's take a look at that. We definitely know that the Catalinas, which of course Bigelow's in, is under the winter storm warning. Last night at this time it was a winter weather advisory, so that is an upgraded, meaning a much more serious warning. And the Catalinas and the Rincons have both been added to that warning, but the winter weather advisory has also been expanded to cover the mountains of Santa Cruz and Cochise counties. So we definitely have those updates for you, and you can tell that what that means is that the wind and the snow are combining for near whiteout conditions, and that would be much too dangerous to travel through the mountains in. So that's why the travel there is certainly not advised. And those warnings continue through tomorrow night, Mary. So we are not just seeing this move through for an hour or so and then we're finished with it. Definitely a lot more rain and high elevation snow on the way. Here's a look at our latest radar. We give you the bird's eye view of this storm as it's starting to swing through Arizona, coming out of California. This is the one that we've been talking about, has produced so many of those mudslides and damage to trees and flooding in the California area. Now, we're not expecting that kind of damage here, but there are a couple of areas where we would watch for the potential for some flooding and where that rain could get pretty heavy. As we zoom into southeast Arizona, not a ton of rain right now across the area. You'll probably see a few spotty showers here and there if you have to head out tonight, but it's really over the next couple of hours our chance for rain ramps up big time. We have our first alert future radar paused right around 10 p.m. So when you're joining us on air, we'll be tracking some moderate to heavy rain from a line from Kearney south into Tucson, Sahuarita, Tubac, all the way down to Nogales. That starts to shift to the east through 11 o'clock and midnight, and then the focus really becomes Graham and Cochise counties right around 2 to 3 a.m. with another round at 5 a.m. through Santa Cruz County. Our early morning commute, about a 50% chance you'll be using those windshield wipers, but then throughout the afternoon and evening tomorrow, chance for rain again jumps up to a whopping 70%. So in the short term overnight, so basically now through 6 a.m., Tucson's highest chance at 70%, 90 in Marana and Oro Valley, 90 in Sierra Vista, and into Nogales. Overnight, though, we'll stair-step our way to that chance. The highest opportunity right around 11 p.m. to midnight. Still at a 60% chance, though, as we head through 1 and 2 a.m. So that does make this a first alert action night. Probably best to stay off the roads entirely, but if you do have to go out, make sure you're slowing down. Give yourself some extra time to get to where you're going. Give yourself a little bit more stopping distance between you and the car ahead of you as well. The roads are bound to be slick, and of course avoid travel in the mountains, as that winter storm warning means that would be downright dangerous to do. And tomorrow's chance for rain every 2 hours at 40%, 8 to 10 a.m., but it does jump to that 70% from 2 until 4, and the possibility is there for a few isolated thunderstorms. So keep that in mind. You might hear some rumbles of thunder. That would mean you have to be indoors. Move inside immediately. Tomorrow's chance for rain at 70% in Tucson, 80 Green Valley, 90 in Oro Valley and Marana, but 70 for places like Tombstone and Bisbee. That winter storm warning for the mountains above 7,000 feet across the Catalinas, the Rincon, stretching into Graham and Greenlee counties and right on up through the White Mountains. That winter weather advisory in the purple, and that continues through tomorrow night. We have upped our snowfall forecast totals from this storm system. Mount Lemmon could potentially see another 18 to 24 inches of brand new snow before all is said and done. Tonight's forecast in Tucson, 46 with that 70% chance of rain. The wind will still be gusty from time to time, and then tomorrow's high 57. That's a whopping 11 degrees cooler than normal for us, and still that 70% chance you want to have an umbrella. And if you're me, a 100% chance you'll want a couple of layers, because that 57-degree high is going to feel quite chilly, especially combined with that rain. There's that 7-day forecast for you. First alert action night tonight and through the day tomorrow. Those temperatures staying on the chilly side all the way through the weekend. And look ahead to Saturday, Mary. We have upped our chance for rain to 40% because we're still going to have kind of round 2 of rain moving through then.
Perfect. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, everyone, stay warm. Be sure to dress in layers.
Yep.
And speaking of staying warm, here's another live look of Mount Bigelow, where we are hoping that everyone up there is staying warm, if anyone is up there. But Please be sure to join us for 13 News Live at 10 for more of your weather. For now, let's jump into our story for this evening. We are talking about our 13 crime files. Now, closure for one family, but not exactly how they'd hoped. In this week's crime files, we speak with the family of Eric Nanez, who was gunned down at a Southside park. And now his father is hoping to prevent other parents from dealing with that exact same heartbreak that he is. It's been nearly 5 years since 15-year-old Eric Isaac Nanez was shot dead and left on a sidewalk at this park near Campbell and Drexel. Tucson police detectives say Nanez had been in the area to meet someone for what they call an arranged transaction when he was killed.
All we did was just try to hold together and be strong and hope someday my son would have justice.
And just last month came the news the family had been praying for, a suspect named. But it was bittersweet news to them, as Tucson police say that suspect, 19-year-old Etzel Cesena Marquez, is dead following his alleged involvement in a 2021 shooting. Evidence, including DNA, led officers to the suspect.
It's a process. I'm going to have a closure maybe, I don't know when, and I know it takes time, but I expected a different kind of justice, maybe if the person would have been behind bars and just to be behind bars and suffer, and that way I can look that person in the eyes and tell them, why did you do this to my son? Fortunately that's not going to happen, but another justice was served.
I asked Eric if there was anything he would have done differently knowing the way his son died.
That's something that it's hard to answer, but if there was something that, he needed to tell me, my son, I would have listened and I would have helped him. And for something to happen like this, it's just unbelievable.
But more than anything, in the wake of his heartbreak, Nanez hopes he can help prevent tragedy for other parents.
It's something that you don't want to go through. I can't even explain in words, but I think nowadays the violence has gotten bad. I think families should really monitor their children and keep an eye on things, but in this world nowadays, there's evil people walking among us, and this is what happens.
Now, because of the circumstances in this case, the investigation will be considered officially closed, according to the Tucson Police Department. Again, be sure to join us for 13 News Live at 10 for more weather and news headlines. For now, we will leave you with another live look of Mount Bigelow, where again, that snow is coming down. You can practically see nothing, but definitely some of those snowflakes in whiteout conditions. We'll see you soon. Have a great evening.